This is an update on the revolution in Iran. Right now, the current situation paints a picture of the Iranian government being absolutely and utterly desperate. I would honestly compare it to the end of the German government at the end of the Second World War. The reason for this is, at this point, record numbers of Iranian officials and government members, even some of the very high-ranking ones, are attempting to get British passports in order to escape the country because they no longer believe they're going to be able to hold on to power. With that as well, the hard toll that the desertion and defection rate in their military and security forces has hit them, they've begun drafting child soldiers to try to fill this void. As well, of course, they've joined the war against the Ukraine on behalf of Russia and have begun carrying out drone strikes in that region. Russia's way of repaying them, which has been revealed by the Black Reward hacker group, shows that, one, they have nuclear experts, and not the kind that make power, that Russia has sent there to help them with that project as well, which goes against all of their current treaties. On top of that, it appears that Putin has sent in some of his higher level specialists on dealing with dissidents, which has increased the amount of severity that the protesters and the people of Iran are being faced with at this point. Now, with that, of course, some of the things that have been reported is the increase of live munitions has drastically increased as well. There was an incident in a mosque, however, that actually has nothing to do with the protests, despite the government trying to say it does. The Islamic State actually took credit for that, and that's pretty much where all the evidence points. They're the only ones trying to say otherwise. There have, however, been several live munition uses against the Iranian Guard and security forces. These are increasing, as well as the use of burning down government buildings, which has increased drastically over the last couple days. On top of that as well, it appears that a new form of punishment is being used against political prisoners and dissidents, which likely has to do with Russian intervention. The example I'm going to use is there was a young girl that was taken into the hospital after having been essayed to the point of barely clinging on to life. The Iranian military essentially whisked her away despite the fact she was in critical condition and could not be moved before her family or anyone else could show up. Now, this has not been reported once or twice. This has been reported thousands of times and has become so common at this point that it is likely a systematic punishment being used against the protesters. Now, this obviously is an absolute crime against humanity, and hopefully if we can get enough of the word out there, the UN will do something finally about this other than just the sanctions packages that we've been seeing. Maybe even revoke some visas so they can't go to England. It's important, though, that despite the many victories that the protesters are having right now, that we continue to share, support, and try to get the word out there. The more that we can do, the better it's going to be for them, and hopefully the less places these monsters will have to hide when this is over. And hopefully this might be over soon.